Hi everyone, welcome to Module 3. I wanted to provide a little introductory video for you as I did last week so that you had some sense of kind of where we are and where we're headed in this module. First of all, I want to thank you all for your feedback. I do read that and take it very seriously and do my best to accommodate the requests that folks are making, and I'll address that a little bit more at the end of this introduction. There are three things that we're going to work on as a part of Module 3. One is that you're going to build out your understanding of the Reader's Workshop. And the way that we're going to do that is a little bit awkward, and I will readily admit that. If we were face-to-face, what I would do is actually facilitate a Reader's Workshop lesson for you as though you were sixth graders, so that you could experience that from the student perspective and then unpack it from the teacher perspective. What I've done is my best to approximate that. And so I have a PowerPoint that has audio recording in it. And I'm going to ask you to view that and imagine that you're sitting in a classroom and I'm actually there to facilitate that in person. In the lower right-hand corner of each PowerPoint slide, you'll see a little icon with a sound or speaker. And if you click on that, you'll hear me offer the instruction that I would offer if I were there in person. So I ask you to bear with that. I know it's a little bit awkward, but that will walk you through a Reader's Workshop lesson, and then the roadmap takes you through the other steps that I want you to experience as a student. And what that's doing is twofold. One, it's building out your awareness of the Reader's Workshop, and two, it's preparing you for the third of three key assignments, which is that Literacy Block 2. The lesson that I've designed is going to be the first lesson of Lit Block 2, and then you'll be divided into small groups to build out the rest of that literacy block. And we'll actually address that much further next week. So for this week, you just need to develop a situated understanding of Reader's Workshop and complete the lesson that I've uploaded for you. The second key thing that we're focusing on this week is the design and development of Literature Circle Lessons 1 and 2. You have been itching, I know, to get to the part where you're actually applying this to clinical practice, and now that time has come. So what you'll be doing is building out your understanding just a bit more by reading one more chapter from Fontes and Pinnell, and then actually developing drafts of Lesson 1 and 2. They are due to Dropbox no later than Friday evening, and that will give me time to assess them, give you feedback, and allow you some time to make changes before you start implementing them next Monday. So that's the second key thing we're doing. And then the third is developing a language and word study lesson based on the results of the Words Their Way spelling inventory that you conducted with the fourth graders. So way back March 17th, you administered that assessment. Then I asked you to upload that data to our Google Doc. And this past week, you sorted through that data and designed groups based on what you found there. And now what I've done is I've assigned each one of you to one of those groups, though it's hypothetical because you will not actually be going in and teaching this lesson. But I've identified a skill of focus that I want you to design some instruction for. And the key thing to understand here is that even though you won't be going in and teaching this with the fourth graders, this entire assignment from March 17th to the finishing up of this lesson is very, very powerful in terms of developing an artifact for your Standards of Effective Practice eFolio. I'm not sure how much your instructors at Winona State have talked with you about this already, but that's going to be a big piece of your culminating experience as a teacher candidate. So if for no other reason, then you've got this great artifact at the end that you'll be able to plunk into that eFolio. I want to make sure that you give this assignment your best effort. This week, all you're going to do is develop a draft of that language and word study lesson. And so you'll upload that to D2L Dropbox. I'll review it, give you some feedback, and it will be due in its final copy form next week. So treat it as a rough draft. Give it the time and attention you can give it. Know that I'll give you feedback, and then you'll have next week to polish that one up. Literature Circles Lessons 1 and 2, you need to treat as though they are a final draft. I'll offer a little bit of review, but you won't have a lot of time to polish those between when you give them to me the first time and when you actually facilitate them with the fourth graders. So we're beginning that transition from theory to practice. You'll see that I addressed that in the roadmap this week, where you're taking what you've learned thus far and begin to really do a lot of instructional planning with it. And you should feel a palpable shift in the kind of work that you're doing, the kind of thinking that you're doing as you take what you've read and learned from the Fountas and Pinnell text, and you begin to put it into practice in the terms of lesson plans, and then with Lit Circles, the actual facilitation of those lesson plans. So those are the 3 key things that we're doing this week: Reader's Workshop, Literature Circles, Language and Word Study lesson. And if you have questions about any one of those along the way, don't hesitate to contact me. I do my best to stay on top of email and get timely replies to you. And if at any point along the way it would be advantageous to schedule a phone call or a Skype session, we can certainly do that. All right, so read through the roadmap. I organized it in terms of kind of urgency. So Reader's Workshop comes first, Lit Circles second, Language and Word Study third. So as you work your way through, you've got your final draft stuff and then your rough draft stuff at the end. There is a module checklist at the end so you can make sure you've got everything accounted for. All right, good luck this week. Let me know if I can be of assistance, and thanks for your patience with this model of learning. I know it's not the best necessarily, but I think we're doing the best we can with the model that we have. So I thank you for that.